Hi students, in this video we will be learning how to download and install the Autocad 2019 version, or you can say the student version. So first of all, we need to go to the Autocad website. Just Google it, Autodesk, and there will the website will be there, autodesk.com. So you just scroll down, or you can just click the menu also. That is the students. You go to the students and educators and click there. You get a tab called free software. You just click on that tab and also scroll down to get the AutoCAD. Click there and scroll down. Now you have to create a free account on this website, or if you have an account, just sign in. After sign in, you have to choose your version, the operating system you have, and the language setup that you need, and just click on install now and it will be download. It is very simple. Hi students, in this lecture we will discuss how to get familiar with the AutoCAD interface or the AutoCAD software. But before that, just let me tell you the difference between this 2019 version of AutoCAD and other older version of AutoCAD. The only difference is the user interface of both the versions, that is 2019 and the other older versions. The main difference is the arrangements of the ribbon or the palettes on this user interface, which makes it different from the older versions. On some versions, that is 2009 and older versions, these palettes do not exist, or I mean they exist, but they are not shown over the top. But the reason of these commands or their presence is all the same throughout all the versions. That is, you can draw any drawings, any plane, any geometry using any version of the AutoCAD, that is 2019, 2018, 2009, 2010, like that. Now let's start getting familiar with other functions of the AutoCAD. We are going to start from up towards the down. Up this bar, you can see there is the name of the software and the versions, the title, and the drawing name. The title of the project is shown on top of the user interface as well as on the tab of the drawing or the worksheet. Now when you move towards the left, you can see some quick access commands. Now we have the AutoCAD button. If you click on it, you see all the menu bar functions are also present in this menu. Now going down, we have some pull down list like menu. We have some options here, and then edit. We have some options here also. View, insert, format, like that. Also, when we move down here, we have some other palettes like draw, modify, and annotation, like that. Now in this palette, draw palette, you have some other commands hidden on the drop down list. We have the line, the polyline, the circle, the arc, like that, and other things related to only the drawings. When you click outside, all the other options apart from showing on the top gets hidden automatically. This is the modify palette. We have some commands like move, the rotate, the trim, the erase, the copy command, the mirror function, and other command, the scaling also. When you click the drop down list, we have some other related commands here. When you click outside, all the other commands gets hidden. Now in the annotate bar, we have the text, the dimensions. We can select any one of them. In the layers also, there are plenty of functions leading to the layer functions. Then comes the block. Here we have the insert block, new block editor, and other related to the block functions of the drawing. Now we have the drawing properties. The properties of the drawing can be manipulated. That is, drawing colors can be changed, the layer, the line width, and then comes the line type. The line type can be changed in any form, and by that it means that whether line will be continuous or dotted or discontinuous, like that. Now apart from them, we have some other palettes like utilities, clipboard, view. uh, we are not going to discuss this palettes right now. Now when we move down, this large black portion is called the workspace, where we plot all the drawings and geometries. All the 2D shapes or the geometry is created on the workspace. Now on the right hand side, we have the navigation toolbar, that is or the cube. It is termed as cube. When we click, all the navigations, the tool can be viewed right here. Moving down here, we have the full navigation wheel. When you drag this out, we can see there is a circle function is coming out from the menu bar. It consists of orbit, zoom, rewind, pan, center, work, like that. Basically, this is used in 3D. Then comes the pan function. With this, we can move up, down throughout the workspace. And then comes the zoom extend. The zoom function consists of many uh, subsidiary functions, that is zoom extend, window, previous, real time, zoom out, zoom in, like that. And then comes the orbit tool and the slow motion tool. These are basically used in the 3D modes, and while we're doing the 2D mode, they do not require. Specifically when you do animation in the 3D mode, these kind of functions are quite helpful. Now moving down to the command menu, this is on the button side. Like when you click the line function, the command if you see the command line, the line function comes up and it is asking to choose the first point on the workspace. So when you go on the workspace and click there for the first point, then it is asking the next point on the workspace. Now when we choose another point on that, the line is created with a specific coordinates. The command bar specifically helps you in identifying which command is activated at a single point of time. When we click on the erase function, we see that erase is activated on the command line. When we click on the rectangle function, you see the rectangle function is activated, and many other subsidiary functions are shown in the command bar. Pressing the escape button, the screen gets cleared and the command bar gets cleared. This is the status bar, and we can see here is the model. The model is the space where we can generally make the geometries and drawings, followed by layout 1 and layout 2. All the layouts will be explained in the next video. We have the customization button, followed by clear screen. If we click, the screen is all cleared. All the ribbons is hidden. We have next the isolate button, the annotation monitor, the workspace switching. It is very important. All the 2D drawings, it is the settings, it comes here. All the 2D shapes is created using the drafting and annotation. For the 3D, drawings, we use the 3D basics and 3D modeling. Now we have the annotation scale, the annotation panel over here, followed by the snap cursor, and for we will be talking about in the next video. And let me show you one thing: the drawing grid. It is very helpful to some of the drawings. It generally uh, displays a scale grid throughout the drawing, and this is the AutoCAD interfacing panel. In the next lecture, we will discuss the keyboard shortcuts or the AutoCAD commands, and generally it will be lot faster when you use the commands instead of the panel. Thank you. Hello. In this video, we'll be showing how to set up the AutoCAD for 2D drafting. Then we'll be setting up the workspace. We will be choosing the right workspace for 2D graphics. Then we'll be setting up the dimensions or the units. We will be using only the keyboard and the mouse for drafting the 2D geometric shapes. When we will be using the mouse here, we have the right click, the left click, and of course the mouse wheel. When we click on the right button of the mouse, we can see there is a list of commands, and these options are useful in drafting the 2D geometries. And when we click on the left button of the mouse, you can see there is a selection tool, that is a selection box has been activated, and then you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out in the model space. When we scroll up using the mouse wheel, we can see that we zoom in into the model space, and when we scroll down with the mouse wheel, we can see that we are zooming out of the model space, and this is very helpful in drafting and the geometries. Now we again come back to the training of the AutoCAD functions. First of all, we will move our mouse to the workspace settings here, and we'll choose the drafting and annotation button. If we are need to do the 3D model, then we would have been choosing the 3D basics or 3D modeling buttons. And as we are using the 2D mode, we will be choosing the drafting and annotation tab. And now the workspace has been set up, but we have not yet set up the dimensions and the units yet. In anywhere, you can just type units command, and you just type the units command and press enter on the keyboard. It's units, UNITS, units. Yes, you can see there is some kind of window that is open in the screen, and the title of this window is drawing units. You can see the length type is in decimal, and the angle type are also in decimal degrees. When you open the drop down list, there are also some functions that are architectural, decimal, engineering, like that. There is a precision tab of the units, and now comes the insertion scale drop down list. Here you can choose the units, that is millimeters or inches, like that. Some people also choose miles, centimeters, feet, like that. But generally, if it is a basic drawing, we choose millimeters, and if it's architectural drawings we choose inches and click OK. And in the workspace and dimensions both are right now set up for the drafting. Now there are also some other functions that I would recommend you to activate before starting the drawings, like the function object snap or osnap. When you click the right arrow, you can see some options on this list like endpoint, midpoint, center, as well as geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, like that. Let's start from the endpoint. If we want to create a line starting from the end point of this very line, if the OSNAP is not activated, you can see that it is very hard to exactly select the exact point of the line end. Okay, let's try. For this we are just drawing the line, and see the line has been created. Now let's see what happened here. Now when we zoom in to this joint, we see that the lines are not exactly joined to each other at the ends. Now how could we solve this problem? This type of problems can be solved by activating the OSNAP or object snap command and clicking on the endpoint for this requirement. Now if we want to create a line exactly from the endpoint of this very line, we just need to delete this line. Now click on the line option from the command, go to the line end, and here you can see that is a green block or grip, and when we click on that and create the line, see what happens here. Let me zoom in. We can see that we chose the exact end point of the line. See, this command is very helpful. Now let's go to another point, that is midpoint. Now if we want to create a line or anything from the midpoint of this line, we can see that there is a green triangle uh, formed at the line, indicating the center of the line. Now if we click on anywhere near the highlighted triangle, then we can see that the line has been created just from the midpoint of the previous line, which was highlighted with the green triangle. Okay, now let's see some other options, that is center of the circle. If we want to create any circle or any line, let's see an example. Okay, let's see that we are drawing a line from the center of this circle, and when we uh, move our pointer near the center, we can see the center has been highlighted with a green circle, and thus the drawing of line is very easy. We can draw another circle from the exact point here also. Now there are some other options like geometric center, and these functions we can find out the center of any geometric shape that has all the sides closed. Like we are drawing a line from the center of this rectangle, and see the geometric center has been highlighted. We can also draw a circle from geometric center of this rectangle. Now we can see some other options like node, or we can see the quadrant. Just activate the quadrant. Now if you want to draw a line from the quadrant of this circle, let me show you. See, when you are trying to draw a line from the quadrant, as soon as we move our cursor or crosshair towards the quadrant, it is already highlighted, and we can draw any line or any shape from the quadrant of the circle. Now moving on to the next uh, command, that is intersection. We mean the intersection of the lines one another, or you can see the circle intersecting the line at this point. You see the intersection symbol has been highlighted in green, and if you need to draw a line from that point, it is very easy to draw. Now moving on to some other options, that is extension. If you want to draw a line that extend with the same angle of the present line, we can choose this command. Like for example, you are drawing a line from the end point of this line with the same slope or angle. You can see that is a green line has been highlighted guiding our path. This means that we are creating this line from in the same angle that was of the previous line. Now you can see this is the new line, and that is the original line. The previous one is the original line. Now we have some other options as well, that is intersection, perpendicular, tangent, nearest. There is a, you can see that there is a lot of commands present here, but it is an advice that only activate those commands which are necessary only for the time being, because it will be very confusing when a lot of circles or triangles or the indicators that will pop up when you move your cursor towards the geometric shape. So it is always advisable to just activate few of the options, that is endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extension, like that. Like I told you before, these options are very useful in drafting the 2D auto shapes, and you will find it more useful when you will be plotting different geometries on the model. And that's it for this navigation. I will move to the next video. Thank you.